All right, everyone, go ahead and press start because today we're counting down the absolute greatest mobile games of all time. We've dug deep into the source data to bring you a definitive top 10 list, celebrating the absolute best experiences you can have on a smartphone. We're talking about the real game changers here, the titles that totally redefined what mobile gaming could actually be. So, grab your device, make sure you've got a full charge, and let's get right into the explainer.
Okay, so let's kick this off by asking a pretty crucial question. What actually makes a mobile game a true masterpiece? I mean, how does a game transcend from being just some simple time killer while you're waiting for the bus into a literal cultural phenomenon? Well, to figure that out, we've structured our countdown today into 3 distinct levels, ranking these titles from number 10 all the way up to our final boss at number 1. We're going to be looking at everything, from mechanics and art design to the sheer cultural impact these games had on all of us.
So, Level 1, Quick Burst Classics. For ranks 10 through 8, we're focusing on those games that completely mastered the short, impactful play session.
And we're kicking off our top 10 with number 10, Monument Valley. Man, this is just an absolutely gorgeous puzzle game. It became incredibly famous for its impossible M.C. Escher-style architecture and these stunning, dreamlike visuals. It's often celebrated as one of the absolute cleanest, most pure mobile-first experiences ever created, designed literally from the ground up for a touchscreen.
And our source data actually captures this vibe perfectly, calling it the kind of short that leaves footprints, right? It isn't some massive 100-hour epic, but the breathtaking craft here ensures it stays with you way after you've locked your phone. It just goes to show that brevity can be incredibly powerful in game design.
Punching in at number 9 is Brawl Stars. So here we have a game that completely nails the action genre on mobile. It brilliantly delivers these incredibly fast matches, super polished controls, and just a massive ton of personality in its character designs and arenas. It takes that whole hero shooter concept and shrinks it down flawlessly for your pocket.
The real achievement here, though, is that Brawl Stars manages to be competitive without devolving into pure chaos. Look, translating multiplayer shooters to mobile is notoriously brutal. Usually the controls are super frustrating or the screen just gets way too cluttered. But Brawl Stars, it remains one of the very few competitive mobile games that actually feels great in quick, highly tactical bursts.
Next up is number 8, the absolute legend that is Plants vs. Zombies. Even years after its release, it is still one of the most charming and purely addictive strategy games ever put on a phone. It brings totally perfect pacing to our hands. Plus, the core concept, using sunflowers and pea shooters to hold off the undead, is instantly readable the second you look at it.
And honestly, the genius of it is that it somehow made lawn defense feel like a noble calling. You genuinely feel this sense of heroic duty guarding that front porch. It's just a masterclass in taking a simple tower defense concept, injecting it with a massive amount of humor, and creating a total masterpiece before we level up to our next bracket.
Which brings us to Level 2, Pocket-Sized Worlds. Moving into ranks 7 through 5, these are the massive, deeply immersive experiences that prove you are basically carrying a full-fledged console right in your pocket.
At number 7, we have Genshin Impact. The data actually refers to this game as an absolute technical monster on mobile. It gives you this huge, sprawling open world, genuine exploration, and a remarkably strong combat system. It basically shattered the ceiling of what anyone thought a smartphone processor was capable of rendering in real time.
I mean, Genshin Impact boasts production values so unbelievably high that it suddenly made a lot of other mobile games look like they were built in a broom closet. It single-handedly raised the industry bar for mobile graphics, voice acting, and open-world exploration so high that literally everyone else had to scramble just to catch up.
Dropping in at number 6 is the cultural juggernaut itself, Pokémon Go. At its absolute best, this game famously turned the simple act of walking around outside into a massive, global event. This wasn't just a game you played quietly in your room. No, this was something you played with your entire neighborhood, side by side in local parks.
In fact, at its peak, Pokémon Go wasn't just a game. It was basically a weather pattern. It literally altered how people moved through cities. You could step outside and see entire crowds shifting based on where a rare Pokémon spawned. Few mobile titles have ever hit the global culture this incredibly hard.
Number 5 is Stardew Valley. Considered an all-timer in the gaming world generally, the source notes it is just shockingly good on mobile devices. It successfully brought all those deep mechanics, the farming, the mining, fishing, relationship building, and that intense town drama directly to our phones without losing a single ounce of its charm or depth.
But seriously, be careful with this one, because it possesses a highly dangerous I'll just play for 10 minutes energy. You tell yourself you're just going to water your crops real quick, and the next thing you know, it has quietly stolen your entire evening. It is the ultimate digital comfort food.
All right, level 3, design masterpieces. For ranks 4 through 2, we're looking at the absolute titans that define mobile gaming excellence.
Unveiling number 4, we have Clash Royale. The source text praises this game for its purely brilliant design. It's built on a remarkably smart card and tower formula that ensures the matches are kept extremely short, yet the strategy ceiling remains incredibly high. It's widely considered one of the smartest things the mobile scene has ever produced.
And you know, the real beauty of the mobile landscape is its diversity, because we can jump straight from the intense, fast-paced, brain-burning strategy of Clash Royale right into the smooth, elegant, and almost meditative vibe of our next entry. Because at number 3 sits Alto's Odyssey. The source literally calls this a nearly perfect chill game. It's an endless runner that is exceptionally smooth, visually elegant, and just breathtakingly beautiful. It has this really unique ability to completely relax you, while simultaneously keeping you engaged enough to want to beat your own high score.
Calling Alto's Odyssey a playable exhale just captures the experience perfectly. It's pure interactive stress relief as you glide over those twilight sand dunes with the sun setting in the background. Truly an absolute breath of fresh air.
Coming in at number 2 is the towering behemoth, Minecraft. Now, what really stands out in the source data here is that the level of freedom you get on a mobile device is still kind of ridiculous. You are carrying an infinite universe of blocks in your pocket, and it functions just as well as it does on any major console or PC.
You've got total access to survival mode, endless creativity, full multiplayer, and, inevitably, the classic 2 a.m. kingdom building session, right? You sit down to build a simple wooden hut, you get completely carried away mining for diamonds, and suddenly the sun is coming up. The fact that this massive, world-altering engine works so effortlessly secures its spot at number 2.
And now we've finally reached the final boss, the number 1 greatest mobile game on our list according to our source data, Among Us. It is super simple to understand, endlessly replayable, completely hilarious with friends, and stands as an absolute masterclass in party game mechanics.
Among Us became an absolute global phenomenon for a very specific reason. It is a masterclass in social chaos. Few mobile games are this easy for literally anyone to jump into, while still consistently producing those legendary, scream-out-loud moments of betrayal. It perfectly leveraged the connectivity of mobile phones to bring people together and tear friendships apart in the most entertaining way possible. So that wraps up our definitive top 10 list. But looking at all these titles, it really leaves you wondering, are the absolute best games the ones with the deepest mechanics, or simply the ones that connect us the most? Thanks so much for joining the Explainer today, and we'll see you next time.